Today is Mid-Autumn Festival and I have something very exciting. I know, I have something very exciting to show you. This is a mooncake, traditional style with 8 yolks. And this is my face for scale. Sorry, Meow. The characters on the mooncake are 回家, meaning coming home. And I got this on one of those Asian grocery websites because it's really hard to buy mooncakes around where I am. So I'm super excited to cut into this. Here's my phone. I'm filming on my phone, so yeah, let's do this. I'm so excited. Hello, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm in the microscopy room, which is like dark as hell, and I'm doing some microscopy. So basically I stained my slides, which look like this. So I stained them with various dyes, DAPI for DNA content, and some other fluorescent conjugated proteins for other purposes. And then I put them over there in the microscope. And then I used this thing to... Hold up, let me explain this again. So I stained the slides with DAPI for their DNA content and another fluorescent conjugated antibody for another protein that I was looking at. Then I put them in the microscope, which is super dark, but it's over here, it's expensive. And then I imaged them like this. So this is just a 20x field, so it's not very blown up. I'm just trying to find the cells, and once I figure out where the cells are, this is DAPI stain, by the way. You can see it's very cute. Have to optimize it a little bit. But once I find the cells, I'll switch to 40x, which is requiring some water to help lubricate the lens and the slide together, and then I'll be able to zoom in on that. So. It's about 11 p.m. I am coming into the bedroom to get ready for bed, but just my grandma was diagnosed with ALK positive lung cancer last year, and what was fortunate was that she was not at end stage, so we were keeping her relatively healthy. The bad news was, well, it's lung cancer. It's notorious for its high mortality rate, and the survival is not that great either. And her specific subtype, which was ALK positive, accounts for only about 5% of all the patients, and most of those patients are actually much, much younger. So she is an oddity, to say the least. My family had helped her get on this ALK inhibitor as a drug treatment. And so far, her progress has been amazing. There was no new cancer found, and quality of life was decent. My mom has taken over her nutrition, and my dad her medical stuff. For those of you who don't know, my parents are both in the medical world. My dad is a physician, my mom is a nurse practitioner with a nutritional license or whatever they do in China. Recently, my grandma started coughing a lot. Whenever I talked to her, she would wheeze a little bit. So I think a few days ago, they took her to the hospital to get like a precautionary, just to do a test to make sure that everything was okay. But her white blood cell count was through the roof. So they forced her to stay for a few days for observation, and they ran other tests. And I've always felt super helpless because the last time that I was home, it was 2018, and I haven't been home once because logistically I couldn't. My entry visa expired last year, and before that I shouldn't be finding excuses. I just haven't been able to go home to visit her, especially since her diagnosis. Although no one in the family has told her yet because we didn't want her to actually give up herself. But yesterday my mom called me super, super worried. She was just like, yeah, the WBC count is not looking so great. We're not optimistic. The hospital got her on all these fluids and like bed rest and stuff, and it's just really scary. And she sent me the lab reports, and being a PhD student and all that, with all the immunology classes that I've taken, although it's not part of my dissertation project, I felt useful. I felt a modicum of usefulness to my family for once because I was immediately able to spot some of the trends that I was seeing that could point to potential reasons of why the symptoms that she was having were occurring. And I talked to my dad because I'm not a medical professional. I could only comment based on what I know immunology-wise. And my dad actually concurred, which was amazing to me because I felt useful and I felt like I was actually able to apply what I learned for once in real life situations. But it also felt horrible because those conclusions are not the ones that I want to make. But, this is a very sad example of how studying science is.
important. I can't even imagine if it's a grandma in a family with no doctors, no scientists, no one in their corner except for maybe physicians that are taking care of the patient to help them understand the lab test, understand what the numbers might mean. And it's just, yeah, it is, it is insane to be in situations like this, and it gave me a degree of comfort knowing that my grandma is in good hands and that I could still contribute what I know. Not taken as medical advice, of course, but I can contribute what I know scientifically to help contribute to maybe theoretically what could have been happening, and maybe it could save her life, or maybe it could make her feel better, however that goes. And, you know, hug your loved ones, keep studying science if you're studying science, advocate for the cancer patients among you if you don't study science, or start looking into some scientific facts and not fake news if you're into that. And yeah, it's a heavy night for sure, but I know I will be able to see her again. For sure. Good night. Hello! Sorry about this very awkward framing. As you can see, I'm in my car. I just dropped Meow off for a grooming appointment about half an hour ago. Drove by Starbucks, finished this in like 10 minutes. Anyway, it's a Thursday, it's a chilly Thursday. It's only 63 degrees outside, which is about, I believe, 17 degrees Celsius. Some random qualms I had living in the United States is that I use Celsius growing up, but then suddenly everyone here, they're using Fahrenheit. I have no idea what that means unless I actually translate it into Celsius. So it's just, yeah, my lab manager, God bless her, she just printed out this sheet because my lab is very international and a lot of people actually use Celsius. More people use Celsius than Fahrenheit in the lab. So she actually printed out this whole conversion sheet for Celsius and Fahrenheit, as well as the guide as to how hot it is in each of the systems. So it was great. Just waiting for someone to walk by because this is very awkward. They just stopped in front of my window too. Oh, anyway, I have my trusted iPad over here. I've been doing some sticker collection on here. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully I'll be able to fill this soon, and then I'll fill my planner, which I got a new planner, but I haven't started planning things out yet in a new space. Probably just do some readings, some papers I need to finish for my project, as well as some law school readings I need to do for classes this coming week. So hopefully Meow will be done soon so we can go home and keep on working, but this is pretty nice. I'm just gonna chill here for a bit, so I'll see you when I see you. The baby is safe and sound back. Hello, baby. Where are you? How do you rate your experience? We'll be home soon. What? Are you okay? Oh no. I'll give you food. Okay, let's go. just checking in after lab, and now I'm doing some law reading because, in case you don't know, law is also a part of my life now, and it's really fun. It's been fun so far living this duality of science and law, but just wanted to quickly talk about this case that I just read. So this is for my contract law class, and we are currently learning about mutual of assent, like in making an offer and forming a contract. And I'm already laughing. And there was this case, okay, from 1999. This was in a district court in New York State, and it was between an individual, Leonard, and PepsiCo, who are the people who make Pepsi. So there was this pretty popular advertisement, I believe in the late 1990s. I don't know, I was born in 97, so I have no idea. But apparently it was a really popular ad at a time where people were showcasing stuff they redeemed, specifically Pepsi paraphernalia from Pepsi points, from drinking Pepsi. So it was displayed in an ad where there was this callous youth arriving at school in a freaking Harrier jet, and Pepsi was clearly making a joke. They were like, oh, you can redeem this jet for 7 million points. Somehow Leonard, this guy, saw the ad and was like, I want that jet. And they set out on a path to gather 7 million and then some change Pepsi points to redeem the jet. He couldn't really drink, millions of Pepsis, which apparently it would take hundreds of years for him to be able to do so. So he actually fundraised $7 million so that he could send a check to Pepsi and be like, I want to buy 7 million Pepsi points to help me redeem that freaking jet. Our guy, oh my god. So he did that, and Pepsi was like, what? That was clearly a joke. Why are you doing this? So they were just like, well, the jet is not exactly part of our catalog, part of the things that you can redeem with Pepsi points. So regrettably, you can't really get that. And Leonard was like, no, but it said on the ad that you can redeem the jet for 7 million points. I have $7 million to buy 7 million points for the jet, so you should give me the jet. If you don't give me the jet within 10 days, I'm gonna sue you. And Pepsi was like, and so Leonard sued them. And while in court, Pepsi, the defendant, filed a motion for summary judgment, which, don't quote me because I haven't done the research on that, might just be for the judge to actually release a decision right then and there instead of relying on a jury to decide. And the judge granted the defendant's motion. Well, the case is already funny enough. What is even funnier is when I was reading the opinion, and I'm just gonna read it. So the main contention is whether the ad itself constitutes an offer, which it doesn't. So the general rule, before we get into the funny stuff, is that an advertisement is generally not considered as an active offer or like as a component of a valid contract, but rather it's considered as kind of like an invitation to start negotiating. So it's just the very start. It's so far away from an enforceable contract that it's just kind of ridiculous. But what was funny was that the court said in the opinion, and I quote, plaintiff's insistence that the commercial appears to be a serious offer requires the court to explain why the commercial is funny. Explaining why a joke is funny is a daunting task. As the essayist E.B. White has remarked, humor can be dissected as a frog can, but a thing dies in the process. The commercial is the embodiment of what the defendant appropriately characterizes as zany humor. A reasonable viewer would understand such advertisements are mere puffery, not a statement of facts. The shade. I really want to know how old this person Leonard was, because it's just, I can't. But it was a very great example, because I'll forever remember it now. It's a great example of when an advertisement would normally be considered as a invitation instead of a contract. And a contract, you need an outwardly expression of an offer, meaning like you are offering the awardee or the offeree an offer, and they have to know and they have to accept for a contract to form. Or you are offering and with a very specific configuration for it to be a valid unilateral contract. I don't know, I'm just getting into the weeds of it now, but this is such a great example. I just have to talk about it because it's just funny as hell. I've been laughing for the past 5-10 minutes thinking about it. It's just 1999, the golden times. Oh my god. Anyway, back to the regular programming. This is just my funny case check-in. Oh god, I need to stop. Alright, back to the regular programming. Alright, peace. Hello people. Going to make some Tai Chi pie. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I have the bare minimum of ingredients, so we'll see.
I don't think like that, she says to me. I can't help but feel the subtleties. So if it all expires, I guess the date's not what it seems. But I can't help it, boy, she says to me.
And now I got a bruise on like my leg.
I'm not sure I
It
truly
is like
gave my
almost 7
best.
PM over there, right?
Made a home but still feel like a guest.
I personally have never been there, but I know like
If
it
I made
exists.
just
and
one
people are
mistake,
covering,
it's not speaking with my chest.
It's like under a freeway bridge.
Maybe I'll just cry a little less.
It's a lot. Find a job.
Tension headaches always get to me.
Not lab.
Often
Literally,
leave me
I don't know
dazed
yet.
and
I don't know.
wondering.
I don't want to be a professor.
So do you mind
Like, as much as I respect
cause my
the
mind's
career,
on
I don't think
other
it's something that I
things.
want to do. Like,
But
I'm not going to be
sure
happy
you'd
doing it.
find them interesting.
So I would just not bother. Like, right when you
Maybe
get
I
married,
should practice how I feel.
why would
Instead
you
of
do that to
trying
yourself,
to
dude?
reinvent the wheel.
2 full years of like working.
Oh,
I know I overcomplicate, but simplicity's surreal. It doesn't seem to me too big a deal. I'm sorry if this all feels like a game. Maybe this whole quarantine's to blame. And I don't know if you still love me, but I still feel the same. For what it's worth, that's how I feel today. So will I float like leaves do in the wind? Or will I sink as soon as I jump in? For sure my feet will touch the ground, but I can't swim. And I'm not sure it matters in the end. I know that I should practice what I preach.
I think I accidentally overfolded.
Telling you the truth
that's okay.
is hard for me.
It's still gonna be good. I'm
So
gonna finish
Jesus,
licking
could you
these.
help me out? Cause I'm bursting at the seams. I guess I never know what's good for me.
Good morning. It is Tuesday. Let me just put you back here. It is a Tuesday and right now it's 5:29 a.m. Oh god, here. I am heading to work. I got an early flow appointment and man, I just feel like my body has been at war with me. Last night I sprained my back and earlier yesterday I was deadlifting. That probably effed my back up, and this morning it was so much pain. It was so much French bread. I'll see myself out. So now I have a medical bolster on. It actually looks like a waist trainer, which is kind of funny. But yeah, gonna try to write myself out of this without going to the chiropractor because it's expensive to see doctors and chiropractors around here. But anyway, exciting day today other than the back pain and the flow cytometry. I'm getting my Invisalign today and I am excited. I actually only have one tooth, this one, that was of major concern to me because it was kind of chipping at my top tooth. But other than that, I'm actually really happy with how my teeth look. So hopefully this is going to be a very short treatment. The estimate is like 3 months. So anyway, let's go to work. It's so cold. Oh my god. It's like 12 degrees Celsius and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. And it's so cold. Just wanted to show you my medical brace. So I have a shirt underneath and this is what it looks like. It does look like a waist trainer, doesn't it? But it has bonings. It's kind of like a corset at the bottom over here. So it actually provides a degree of spinal support. Think weightlifting belt to maintain an adequate abdominal pressure when you're lifting. This is similar, and it also protects my spine from just moving all over the place. I've had this for years. I've had it since my back injury back in high school. So it was 2012 that I first had the injury. So it's been almost a decade since I had that brace. And not a great feeling, but we'll get through it. Anyway, can we talk about this sweatshirt? You're not looking at this wrong. It is actually printed, inversed on me. So in the mirror, it just says athlete, like straight, which is kind of cool. And actually here, and there's this Go Be Great by the sleeve. This is Danielle Wilson's merch. She is an athlete that I admire, so this is me supporting her. Anyway, back to the experiments. Oh, I also got a new iPhone. Back to the experiments we go. excited. Hello, I just got home and am doing some work before I'm gonna go lie down on the couch because my back freaking hurts. Just wanted to briefly touch base again. The clinic footage was probably really shoddy, but hey, I got my Invisalign in. Now I am talking with a pretty overt lisp, so if in future voiceover I sound weird, that's because I have my Invisalign in. Anyway, I had braces when I was in middle school, I believe, and I had it for like a good year and a half, which was still really short compared to some people. And I totally forgot what it felt like to have something like this weird inside your mouth and having to talk with a very weird mouth configuration. So this is actually very difficult for me to get used to. So like I've been trying to speak as much as I can so I can get used to having this in, but yeah, it's kind of weird. And like if you can see the attachments when you take out the trays to eat or drink stuff, you can feel the attachment on your lips, which is extremely bizarre, but hopefully this is worth it. The projected treatment is 3 months, but with refinements and such, it's probably going to be 4 to 6 months, which is still incredibly short compared to some individuals who chose to do this. So I am very, very lucky that I don't have a whole lot to adjust, but still it's going to be an interesting few months. And the reason I'm bringing this whole lispy thing up is that your girl, remember the flash talk competition? So I took the flash talk competition practice and submitted it to a different statewide competition. So this is not national anymore, it's statewide science communication competition out of boredom last month. I was just like, oh, they're recruiting people, why don't I just send it in? Like, it's probably not gonna make it anyway, like just do it for fun. And then I got picked again. I'm a finalist again. And this time, instead of virtual presentation for the finals, I have to go to Madison, which is the capital of Wisconsin. I have to go to Madison to present in person. Anyway, it's just a little bit funny, but I'm very, very grateful for the chance to be able to relive my flash talk competition again, but this time bringing more experience and more feedback from last time into this round, and hopefully we'll do something. So there are also 10 finalists, but this time all 10 people have cash prizes, so hey, for broke grad student, anything works. But I am looking forward to that competition, which is next week. It's not giving us much time to prepare. I really hope that people don't find my pronunciations and stuff weird, because like right now I cringe listening to myself, and I'm gonna listen to all of this footage again when I'm editing. Like, yes, I'm cringing so hard. This is gonna be so cringy. Like, we'll get through this, but I just wanted to briefly mention that because it's gonna be interesting trying to do public speaking with this newly installed Invisalign. Yeah, that concludes my rather chaotic week. It was a very eventful week. I am mentally and physically exhausted, but it's still Tuesday. But we move on. You know, life without challenges is not fun. We just gotta push through it and take break whenever we have time. So, hope you have a great day, and see you in 2 weeks. Maybe something exciting is coming.